What? While you're an authority figure, you also need to relate to them on their level. What? Oh. Hi, I'm Felicia Velasco, and I'm a child wrangler. The responsibility of the child wrangler is to really be responsible for the kids. I mean, outside of a guardian or a wrangler, there's really no one in charge of them because everyone has to do their own job. My understanding is that a child actor under the age of 16, there needs to be a guardian backstage with them. My job starts the second I walk in that door, and then my job ends the second I see the kids are with their respective parents or caregivers or whoever. You need to make sure they get dressed, make sure they have their mics on, make sure they're on time for their cues, and just sort of make sure that they're safe, that they're protected. I feel like my kids sometimes see me as a boss, sometimes see me as an assistant. It's almost better for them to think of me as their assistant, more so than I'm always telling them what to do. Because then it's just sort of a nicer relationship. So we have a big sign that says, "Does Andy have her coat?" Because one time we forgot her coat. Whoops. I've always been in the performing arts. My mom's a dancer, so I grew up in the ballet world. I acted a little when I was young, actually, and I pretty much stopped by the time I was 10. And then in high school, I started doing a little more theater. Once I was in college, I did a couple things. So it's always sort of been there in my life. I had no idea that being a child wrangler was in my future. But so many people who know me that now hear that I am a child wrangler, they're like, that's the most perfect job for you. So the first show I did was West Side Story. And it was sort of a random phone call. I pretty much fell into it. When West Side Story was in rehearsals, I got called in to sub, but then they kept me on as a sub at West Side Story. And then their child wrangler left to go on tour towards the end of the summer. So then I went there full time. And then through that, I actually then got Elf. And then through Elf, I got the people in the picture. So I've been very lucky. For West Side Story and Elf, I've been with boys. And this is the first time at People in the Picture that I'm with girls. It's so different. And it's funny, we have a lot of stuff in common, but also there's definitely, your behavior changes when you're with boys and when you're with girls, and you sort of filter yourself a little more or a little differently with girls. Right now with the People in the Picture, there's more downtime in Act 1. So definitely we play games. Our theater at Studio 54 is very dog friendly. So we have some dogs in the theater, so the girls will play with dogs. It's like, if the girls aren't in the dressing room, then I know they're with a dog. But definitely during school time, we do homework, we play games, we color. The way, at least I am with them, is different than kids if I was just babysitting. Like, my relationship with them is very different because we're all at work also. So you try to keep it a balance of, yeah, we can play games, we can hang out and talk about stuff and have fun. But at the same time, we're all at work. There has to be some sort of balance. And they know that too. They know they're at work. My communication, I get, is with the stage managers more than anything else. When they're in the rehearsal process, I will actually watch all of their actions and see when they exit, for example, and I'll have my own cue sheet, just so then I know where I have to be and where they have to be. And then the stage managers will ask me for my cue sheet so they can see if it matches. If anything changes, the stage managers will let me know. For example, when they added the new cross for Rachel in the People in the Picture, they told me. They said, just so you know, now she makes the cross, so you should really see where she goes. So just little things like that. So yeah, I mean, one could definitely make a career out of being a child wrangler. There are always shows that are gonna have kids. You also don't really realize that either because they may be like one kid. But definitely there have been people in the business who have been a wrangler for 20 years. And then yet, what's really great about being in the theater community and going to work every day really is getting to see what in reality so few people get to see and don't really realize. You're privileged to get to see Backstage and how Backstage works. When the kids are like running down the block being like, Felicia, we missed you. That's pretty great too.